Haven't made a video in a few days now. I've been on vacation, took the family to see some friends, and now I'm going to see if I can fit this Matlock 2538 I got from Harry Bow. Pretty rusty, I'm guessing, but we'll see. This lock has 6 pins on it. The key looks like that. It's interesting. It's got the bitting on the opposite side from what you might normally expect. Yeah, and see, I tried to put the key in upside down. Go ahead and put that in. There we go. Oh, okay, key came out. I thought this was key retaining. There we go. And we'll go ahead and try to pick it. Like I said, 6 pins in here. Maybe I'll do the deeper side. This is a Sparrow's heavy flat bar. It does seem to turn a decent amount. So there it's binding, and then I turn it a decent amount, like almost like it's dropping straight into false set. Anyway, start at the back, pin 6, little click there, and now it's moving. 5 is moving. 4, little click, and now it's moving. 3 is loose. 2, little click, and now it's moving. 1's binding, still binding, still binding. Oh, okay, dropped into false set. 1 is really high, and is now jiggling. 2 has a little movement. Hard to tell on 3. I think 3 is binding. Getting some counter rotation from 3. Okay. 4 seems to be okay. 5, little click. Little counter rotation from 5 maybe. Okay. Okay, that might be an overset, because some things are feeling a bit weird and loose. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 is really loose. I think 5 might have overset slightly. If I can drop something down a little. Okay, drop 5 down. Checking 6. 6 feels binding. No click from 6. 6 seems to be jiggling. 5 seems to be jiggling. 4, little click there, and now jiggling. 3 seems to be pretty high up, but seems to be binding. Little tiny click, and it's jiggling now. 2's jiggling. 1 seems to, oh, maybe have fallen down. 1 is springy. Okay, 4, little tiny click there. Come back to the beginning. 1 seems to be binding. Click really high up, and we're back into our pretty deep false set. 2, 3, 4 is jiggling a bit. 5, 6 feels like it's our binder. It's getting a little bit of counter rotation. Trying to set that without dropping other things. Okay, I got click out of 6. 3, 4, 5. Can't seem to feel where 6 went. I think maybe I pushed 6 a bit too far. Trying to release tension really slowly. Let's see if I can drop 6 down a little. There we go. Drop 6 down. Seems to be binding, but I'm going to start from the front again just to make sure. 1's jiggling. 2's jiggling. 3, 4, 5, and 6 still feels like it's binding. So, little click out of 6. Still feels like it's binding though, but it's really high up there. Another little click out of it, and I feel like it's right at the top of the keyway. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 6 is overset. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Only 6 is weird. I feel like it's way overset. Backing off, dropping 6 back down again. Maybe drop 6 down further, and we're open. So 6 was overset, and it felt like it was binding, so I pushed up on it further, and it was definitely overset. I dropped it down. It felt like it's binding. I let off a little bit, and it dropped down to the shear line. So yeah, a bit interesting of a pick job. I have not gutted this before, but we'll go ahead and try. Hopefully I can. I took some preliminary steps and made sure that whatever screws I could see, this one down here and this one here, were there's the autofocus. This one here and the one inside were pre-loosened, just so that they're not, that I don't get stuck forever trying to remove them. So I think this one just holds the shackle in, is my guess. So this is retaining the shackle. So if I take this out, so there we go. And that, hopefully I should be able to just take the shackle out with that one, is my guess. Or not. Okay, well, we'll leave that for now, and we'll go ahead after this Phillips screw down here inside of the shackle hole, and that should drop the core out, hopefully. Okay, so that's the core retainer out, and the screw for it came out. That's the screw on the front of it. It's got to somehow allow the shackle to release, is my guess. But let's go ahead and, there's the core of the lock. All right, well, oh, I locked the shackle up. So I'm gonna put this back in because it doesn't seem that the shackle will come out even with this screw out. So no big deal to have that screw out. I locked up the shackle, which means that somehow I need to rotate that actuator. The easiest way is probably just stick this lock in there and unlock it. Oh, it's in unlocked position right now. So we'll go ahead and lock it back up, and then we will use the key to pop the shackle. All right, next, what do we got on here? We got a C-clip. So we'll get a C-clip remover and probably a pinning tray while we're at it. Zoom in a bit on this. And take this off. There's the C-clip. Put this in. Bring all our pins to shear line, which means that we can stick a shim at the shear line. Looks a lot like a little American 1100 plug on this, or core, sorry. See if I have an appropriate follower. This fit? Yep. Okay. Number 1 is a steel key pin, I guess for anti-drill. 2, 3, 4, 5. It wouldn't surprise me if 6 had serration on the key pin. Where's a oh, tell me I didn't bring, oh I did. So tweezers here. Yep, has serrations there on the key pin. I think that's what I overset into, and I felt extra binding because I dropped into serration and I clicked further. But I was able to drop that back down, so that worked out without having to reset the whole lock. The way I do that is I hold my pick underneath that pin, like not touching it, but below it, and then I slowly counter rotate on the plug until I feel this one boop, drop down onto my pick. I can feel it hit my pick, and then I stop counter rotating. All right, so let's take a look at some of these driver pins. Pull this shim out of here. All right, driver pin number 6. Right? No, driver pin number 1. Spring. So number 1's a standard. We felt that. I had to lift it really high, and that dropped me into the false set. Number 2 is a spool. I don't think I really felt that one at all. That one I didn't have to. I didn't have to lift it super high. 3 is a spool. I think I felt 3 as a spool. I did get counter rotation. 4 is a spool. Don't think I felt that one. Get that spring in a bit. I'm going to go from the back. 6 is a spool. I think I felt that one, yep. And I think I felt 5 as a spool as well. And 5 is a spool. There's 5 spring and then 4 spring. There we go. And the plug itself, nothing special, no milling. But there are these tiny little pins. Had to take my time. I guess I rarely fall into the overset trap of the serrated, so I generally feel like the serrations on the key pins don't really mean much security-wise, but in this case I hit them, so I'm kind of glad for that, to show a little bit on how to recover from oversetting into those and what you might encounter to realize that you've been overset into something like this. I felt that, you know, I pushed it here and I felt it binding because I was stuck inside the serration, and then I decided to push it further, but I still felt binding because now I was stuck in the next serration. And I pushed up further and it just felt kind of weird, like it was like a standard at that point. So I dropped it down. It dropped to, I think, probably here, and it was still locked. And then I let off some more, and it dropped to the open shear, fortunately without dropping anything else, and then it popped open. So that is the Matlock 2538, and thanks to Harry Bow for sending that over. Thanks everyone, bye.